Hello everyone, I am Anthropomantic Fiend. I do horror-related things on the internet, and I'm in a bit of a mood right now. If you haven't noticed, I'm not doing the lavalier mic thing at the moment, even though I do have it now, and there's a reason for that. The lavalier mic still works, it just doesn't always plug in the way it's supposed to. This has happened to me in the past with other videos, so suffice to say that I filmed this whole video the other day and none of the audio took, and I'm very pissed off about that because, spoiler alert, I was very moved by some of the things that were in this box, and I really wanted you to be able to see my initial reaction to some of this stuff. So I've still got the video, it's just none of the audio took, so I might end up interspersing some clips from that original video into this just so you can get a visual representation of some of my initial reaction. We'll see if that works, but we're just doing this now, and everything's already out of the box. It's all in a little pile over here. This is not going to be my initial reaction, but I'll tell you what I was very excited about and what made me really happy. So yeah, this is my unboxing of the prize box from CollectorMan's, I believe it was 350 subscriber contest. I will correct myself below if I'm wrong. I'm sure he's well past that at this point. You've heard my spiel on him before. He's a wonderful human being, great friend of mine. We've sent each other stuff before, but this is the first time I've won his contest, and this is the first unboxing video that I filmed from here at college, and I was very happy to get the box here. And the one benefit of filming the video this way is I don't have like a good several minutes of me struggling to get tape off of a box that I have to edit out. Also, just as you know, I had all of this stuff kind of in its little allocated spot in my room before I realized that none of the audio in the original video took, and so I had to kind of get it all back out again. So some stuff might be missing. If it is, Tristan, just let me know. I'm sorry. I am very appreciative of every single thing that you sent me. I've got your note that was in the box just pinned up on my bulletin board on the wall here, so I'm just going to read it out right now because it made me very happy. Dear Martin, congratulations on winning my contest. Becoming friends with you and others through YouTube has been a true highlight of my life. Your support means so much to me. Thank you. There was a bit of room left in the box, so I chose to fill it with some extra items which I hope you'll enjoy. Best wishes, Tristan. P.S. I really hope the chocolate didn't melt. And so that's what I'm going to start with. And it's a little, I think, 5-pack of Hershey's. I've already opened it and eaten one of the bars. It is quite tasty. It did not melt. Starting with some of the smaller items, you can see that I'm wearing these little plastic skull rings, and he sent me a whole bag of these things. He's worn them before. They look amazing on him, and I'm currently wearing them in a pattern that might resemble a certain flag. I just love little plastic Halloween rings like this. I used to wear ones all the time that were the spidery ones until the legs would break off and I would get sad. But yeah, I just love these little plastic Halloween rings. I think they're adorable. He also sent me a little bag full of notepads and pencils and other such things, all of which are quite Halloween-y. There was also a keychain in there that was a little logo for Salem, Massachusetts, and that is actually currently on my keychain that I'm carrying around with me with the keys to my room and such. It looks like this, and it's right on there next to my room 237 Overlook Hotel Shining keychain that Hobbs Horror sent me a while back. So yay. There was this little plasticky speaker, microphone, and guitar thing sitting in there that's pretty cute. Nice little nod to my musicianness, I suppose. We have 4 little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle keychains, which are, I dropped one, which are all very cute as well. I will say, I kind of feel like these don't belong in my collection just because I never really grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was never really on my radar, but I know some people who absolutely adore Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I might be gifting these to them. Either that or I need to just start watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tomorrow and hoard these for myself. But I think I'm going to gift them to my friend. Regardless, I appreciate having them. In a similar but much more spooky vein, we've got this adorable little Super Monsters Drac Shadows toy. As Tristan mentions in his video for the contest itself when he ran through the prizes. This is just a cute little vampire boy from a Netflix show, and his name is a play on Dark Shadows, which is a show that I absolutely love. And as much as I am an adoring fan of all things vampire, I just don't feel right having this in my collection because I have never watched Super Monsters, so I may end up giving this to someone else. I don't know who the hell that's going to be because I don't know anybody who watches this show, but we'll see. And I really do appreciate receiving him regardless, because just look how cute he is. And Tristan sent me one of the cute little Jacko pumpkins that he picked up a while back, one of these little baskety things, and it's a handy little storage unit. I've actually been storing the 4 plastic skull rings that I'm wearing currently in the Jacko pumpkin up on my shelf just to kind of differentiate them from the rest. Just look at his cute little face with his tongue sticking out. I love him. This is the item that I actually was most excited about before I saw some of the extra stuff that Tristan threw in. This is a Mego figure of the 1925 Phantom of the Opera in his guise as the Red Death. If you didn't know, Phantom of the Opera is one of the first horror movies I ever watched alongside the John Barrymore version of Jekyll and Hyde. I absolutely adore Lon Chaney's performance in the movie. I adore the whole style of the film and the gothic melodrama of it all and the tragedy of Eric's character, while also him being a terrifying, toxic, and horrible character. I particularly love the look of the masquerade sequence, which was actually, I think, filmed in an early version of Technicolor, or maybe it was tinted, I'm not sure. I think it was filmed in an early version of Technicolor, but regardless, this figure looks absolutely fantastic, and it's from a movie that I absolutely adore, so I'm very happy to have Eric here in my collection. There were also a few books contained in the box. The World's Worst, A Guide to the Most Hideous, Disgusting, Inept, and Dangerous People, Places, and Things on Earth by Mark Frauenfelder. This is just a fun little book of all kinds of gross and weird trivia. I haven't had a chance to flip through it yet, but I might as a little pick-me-up if I need something fun and weird to look at. I love books like this. I used to just get things like this from the library or souvenir shops all the time, especially when I was younger. I haven't done that as much lately, but I always love flipping through these things. It's a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to doing that with this. He also threw in this copy of Dance, which appears to be a DC series of comics. This is the very first issue of out of 6. Here's some of the artwork from the inside. It looks pretty cool. I am a fan of the DC universe, primarily Batman, but stuff in general as well. I know absolutely nothing about this series, but the art style is cool, and I'm kind of a casual enjoyer of superhero media, so I will enjoy reading this, I suspect, and I hope to be pleasantly surprised by what all's in it. And the thing I'm most excited about in the books is this sealed copy of the Creepy Collection, which is a series of what looks to be children's books all about spooky stuff. Dr. Frankenstein's Human Body, The Vampire Book, and Supernatural. And Dr. Frankenstein's Human Body is like a biology book for kids through the lens of Dr. Frankenstein. Supernatural is a book about ghosts, if you couldn't tell. And both of those look really enjoyable and fun, and like something I probably would have gotten from the library when I was younger. The Vampire Book is actually a book that I did check out a few times from the library when I was younger, and really starting to form the hardcore obsession with vampirism that you see in me now. There's just a little picture of one of the pages, and just seeing that hit me with flashbacks to checking the book out when I was younger. I'm very much enjoying flipping through that again and checking out the other books. They're definitely for a younger audience than I am now, but I really don't care. I'm just loving the nostalgia here, and I love the packaging on this too. It's very cool looking. So I think this will look great on my shelf if I in fact have room for it. Spoiler alert, I don't. But I don't care. It's just sitting on top of the rest of my books, and it looks lovely, and I can't wait to flip through all of these. And going through this stack of movies that he sent me, we have 2 films here that I already own, but I'm not mad to have them with me here. We've got Beetlejuice and Poltergeist. Beetlejuice is my favorite movie of all time, so why would I not already own it? But still, it's always nice to kind of have here. And Poltergeist, iconic Tobe Hooper directed horror film of the 80s, very creepy, but also has kind of a comfort comforting Spielbergian aspect to it at the same time. Great movie to watch with friends. In my opinion, I am going to be part of the Geeky Halloween event that's going on at my college this month on the 30th and 31st, and I'm going to be hosting a horror movie trivia event that's going to be going on there. And so I have decided that these two movies are going to be amongst the prizes that I'm going to be giving out when that happens. If you are at Hanover College currently, you could win copies of Beetlejuice and Poltergeist, among other things. But regardless, these are classic movies, and I appreciate the gesture of receiving them, regardless of whether or not I already have them, and I'm glad to pass them on to hopefully another avid horror fan. The Thompsons, apparently this is the sequel to a movie called The Hamiltons. The blurb on the front says Twilight meets Tarantino, which is already intriguing, and the back says the best vampire film to grace screens since Catherine Bigelow's 1987 neoclassic Near Dark. Yes, I did just say that. This looks like a fun vampire road trip type movie, maybe, at least from the cover, which has a car on it. I don't know if it's actually a road trip movie or not, but it looks like one. Regardless, vampires, generally fun, and yeah, I'm just a huge friggin' vampire nerd, so I think I'm gonna have fun with this movie. Bubble, another Steven Soderbergh experience. I don't know what the other ones are, because I don't think I've ever watched a Steven Soderbergh movie, but I remember seeing Tristan pick this up a while back and be like, I'm not sure what this is, and I'm still not sure what this is. Just looking at the blurb really quickly. A bizarre love triangle is born at a doll factory in a small Midwestern town, and I'm not even going to read the rest of the blurb because I want to be surprised by this. It looks like something of a weird psychological thriller, and the cover of this thing is already super freaky, so I have no idea what to expect out of this except a bizarre love triangle in a doll factory in a small Midwestern town, but that's not much to go off of, so this is going to be weird and I'm here for it. Leonardo DiCaprio in a Martin Scorsese film, Shutter Island. I have never actually finish this movie. I watched like the beginning of it once when it was airing on Sci-Fi one time, but I was never able to finish it, so I really don't know what to expect out of this movie. I just hear very good things, and obviously Scorsese's a very acclaimed director, and DiCaprio's a very acclaimed actor, so I'm very interested as to what's going to go on in this. I know it's kind of a psychological thriller horror type deal. And we've got the Predator triple feature. Don't kill me, but I've never seen the Predator movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger is fun, and I'm excited to see him fight some aliens and some action horror, and it looks like Danny Glover is in the second Predator, and this also includes Alien versus Predator, and I am a pretty big fan of the Alien movies that I have seen, so I'm looking forward to watching that as well. A movie I know nothing about except that Christian Slater is in it, which really says nothing about the quality of the movie because he was in freaking Alone in the Dark, which is not a good movie, but Christian Slater was still a decent actor in that, and I trust Tristan's judgment, so I'm interested to check this one out. And the front says violent shocks and plot twists, so hopefully this will touch a nerve and be something quite creepy. And the last two things in here are probably what I'm most excited about. First off, we've got From Dusk Till Dawn. Once again, don't kill me. I know I'm a terrible vampire fan, but I've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn, and that's just because I haven't found the time to watch it yet, because I really want to. Freaking crazy road trip movie that winds up in vampires is what I hear, and also it's starring George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. I know Tom Savini's in here at some point, and it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, whose work on Planet Terror I quite liked, so I think I'm going to have a blast with this movie. All you really needed to tell me was vampire road trip movie. I'm in, but all that added, and this is going to be fun. I don't even remember if this was part of the original box or if this is something Tristan threw in for me because he's super thoughtful like that, but we've got the 8 movie Nightmare on Elm Street collection. The original Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite 80s slasher, but I've never seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels at all. I've really wanted to see movies like Freddy's Revenge because queer culture, and Dream Warriors because it just looks badass, and Freddy vs. Jason because I'm also trying to watch all the Friday the 13th movies and also Catherine Isabel. I'm very much looking forward to watching all of these, even the movies that people don't tend to speak very highly highly of, like Freddy's Dead, and also checking out Wes Craven's New Nightmare and seeing his first stab at meta horror, no pun intended, maybe pun intended, I'm not sure. Thank you very much, Tristan, for sending this to me. I am super looking forward to these. I'm hoping to maybe, if I can, convince some friends to just binge a few of these with me one night this Halloween season. And then finally, we've got a few extra special things that Tristan threw in, all of which I'm very excited about and all pertain to my all-time favorite movie, and that is Beetlejuice. So he sent me this little figure. I don't recall if he's shown this off on his channel before. I think he has, but the head rotates just a little bit. Don't you hate it when that happens? And he's a wonderful little beetle guy. I don't know what else to say about him except that I love him and he's from my favorite movie, and I'm so flattered that Tristan sent him to me. And we got another Mr. Beetleman here, and he, I believe, came in a set of, like, I forget what they called these, but they come in these little domes, and they're all different horror characters, and they're kind of like a little, you buy one of these and you get a random character type deals, and he got Beetlejuice once, and I'm assuming this is the same one, and he was kind enough to send it to me, and I'm honored that he did so. And just look at him. He looks so cool. He's got the little handbook with him and everything. And the last two items I want to talk about are probably the items that moved me the most. The first one is this little pin that I'm currently actually wearing. This is Lydia Dietz in Funko Pop form as a little enamel pin. She just looks amazing. She's even got like little detailings on her in gold, and she looks so cool. I already mentioned that Beetlejuice is my favorite movie, but Lydia Dietz is my favorite character from Beetlejuice, and I relate very much to her character and kind of her introverted otherness, not to be too much of a walking gothic angsty stereotype, but also to absolutely be that. I absolutely love her. I love this pin. I also really love the way the character is built on in the animated series, and they kind of make her more of a horror nerd and kind of what every horror fan or gothy person should kind of aspire to be, in my opinion, because she's super spooky but also super kind, which segues right into the item that I honestly love the most out of all the things Tristan sent me, and that is this. This is Tristan's copy of Camp Fright, which is one of, I believe, his favorite things that he showed off in, like, his favorite things in his horror collection video. And it's a lower reading level than I generally read at this point, but I don't care. I'm going to put Tale of the Body Thief on hold and read this whole thing because I'm just so moved that he would be willing to send this to me, because I know he kind of grew up with this book and it means a lot to him. And it came with this little note inside that said, "I believe you expressed interest in reading this. It's well worn, and please excuse my 7-year-old self for being so excited about Beetlejuice that I took it upon myself to color some of the illustrations." I did that too with some books in my collection when I was younger, because it was like black and white illustrations. These are the same thing as coloring pages, right? They weren't, but you know, they looked like it. I couldn't think of anyone I'd rather pass this on to than you. Another super Beetlejuice fan. Love you times infinity. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say except that I wanted to cry after seeing this the first time, because it's just such a sweet gesture. Not just because it pertains to some of my favorite characters and one of my favorite franchises ever, but because it meant so much to you and you were willing to pass it on to me, Tristan. So thank you very much for sending this to me. And yeah, that is everything that Tristan sent me. I didn't use the lav mic this time, so hopefully the audio actually takes this time and my phone doesn't find some other nefarious way to screw me over. Yeah, that is my unboxing, or really just show off of all the lovely things Tristan sent me in his prize box for his 350 subscriber contest. Thank you so much for watching my video, and hopefully I will see you in another one. Bye!